Okay, we're going to bring you the whole story on what happened here. Now, we was just sitting around, you know, and she decided to go to the post office. We crossed this for over 10 years. And what happened, which it's a lot deeper now since the rain last night, it got it way deeper. What happened was over here on the left of the ride, there's a big hole that washed out, and it was unseen. So after you get through this creek, this is always the deepest creek, and if this one is not that deep, then we know we're safe to go across the main river that is about 10 car length wide. So right here is a big old hole on the left hand side. You can see how the Durango is starting to lean. And what it was is this rock wall, when it jumped over it, it took a hole out, which, like I said, we've been here for over 10 years crossing this. So it was unexpected. So that's really a lesson to learn, is you can't see what's under the water. It looked fine, just like it did for the last 10 years, over 10 years. But then when she dropped off in the hole, she was in the ride. She tried to contact me, and well, you couldn't get a signal, could you?
No, there's no signal. It's like something out of a horror movie.
But anyway, all I heard was on the, how many calls was it you called? 3 or 2?
3.
Yeah, but I heard her holler, "Help me. You gotta help me." That's all I could hear, and then the phone went off again because there's no signal right here. So I ran up the road, got her brother's Jeep. Held the battery turn was real quick. What time he started it hadn't been started since the freezing. And we come down here, they let me drive. I come down here and I got behind her on the right hand side and pushed it up that bank over there. You can see behind it there's dirt, a rut still yet there. Got behind the hatch. Now we took his Jeep and got bumper to bumper and pushed her up out of the river because she was panicking. She was up in the hatch when I got down here, and she was panicking, and I can't blame her because the water went in the seat where she was sitting. It was up in the seat.
Yeah, it just kept pouring in. It's the scariest thing to hear that water coming in doing that when you're by yourself and no phone signal.
Yeah, and it was unexpected. This was an accident, but we didn't cross it. What time it's looking like this, you know, a lot of people thought, well, what a dumb move. You know, why would you do that? It was normal for us. This is where we live. This is the only road in and out.
Yeah, this is where we live at, and it's something that we're used to, and this big hole that this vehicle dropped off in, we didn't know nothing about, and I wouldn't wish this on nobody. It's a very traumatic experience. And for us to lose this vehicle means we've lost everything, really, because it's our only way in and out of here.
Yeah, it's hard to get groceries or anything like that, so what I'm going to have to do is we're just going to have to save up and get us a old F-150 Ford, you know, that ain't got all the electronics everywhere on it, or something like that, and get a lift kit for hose that comes out into the river, because we have to cross this. She had to go check the mail. She had to go to the grocery store, try to get a few things to get us, because we seen the rain coming. We always try to stock up a few days before the rain comes. But she didn't know that hole was in there, and it wasn't her fault. And what it did is it took out the electrical system. And once we pushed her out that backside right there, I went down that little road and went in the next creek, like this one. There's 2 of them before we hit the main river. And I turned it around and come back and tried to stay out of that hole, but it went down in it and the front end and then came out of it. But there's a bigger hole here on the left that goes over the hood. It went over the hood on her, and when it died, it floated to the right, and it scared her because she was floating, you know.
It's very scary. I mean, I was climbing on the console and climbing in the back hatch. The water just kept flowing in, and you know, when you're by yourself and you don't know what to do, and you're trying to find phone signal, and you try to hit the horn too. I did, and for informational purposes, which I didn't know till this happened, the horn does not work when it's underwater. So now I figure everybody should know that they don't know it, because I didn't.
Yeah, the horn don't work underwater. Once it goes underwater, you can't hear it. You might hear it, you know, the sound won't transfer out. And I cut that big log out there the other night that was causing that dam that we was talking about, stopping the river from flowing. But anyway, that was a total accident. We do this. This is where we live, and this is our road. And there's, like I said, there's no other way in or out, and we're used to a little bit of high water, but the lesson is the hose in the water, and I need to get some kind of a ride and just put my own lift kit on there, so you know it won't cost so much if you go buy one like that. I'd rather just do it myself, a lot cheaper. But anyway, put a lift kit on it, and in case if we get a hole right here in this river anywhere, because you never know what's under the water.
No,
you can't see. Now you couldn't see nothing.
No. Been driving in and out here for over 10 years, and this water is so forceful, and you just don't know what it does, because like you said, you can't see under there.
Yeah, you get boards, nails. I run over a tricycle and ripped the hose, busted the radiator, the piece out of the radiator.
Yeah, you did,
Yeah, because of a tricycle.
Yeah. You never know what washes up or what washes out, but you don't know. You can't see under there, but when you got to go out, and this is your only way, you have to go, which we never did get out, because, you know we've lost that vehicle, but...
Yeah, but we're happy here. I mean, it's peace and quiet.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I agree.
it's worth it, ain't it?
Oh, it's worth it. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
No, I don't. You know, other places well, that's fine if you don't cut your grass or something.
I couldn't live like
that. Not allowed to cut trees, not allowed to do this, not allowed to do control.
Control. It's all about control.
They're not going to control this old country.
Well, that's the reason why we love living in West Virginia. Ain't no control here. You live your life the way you live it, and the neighbors live theirs the way they live it, and nobody pays no attention to nobody, you know.
Nope, everybody gets along. It's a regular country way.
And there's bad things that happen, just like what happened to us right here, losing this vehicle, but it's the price you pay, but it's worth it.
Yeah, and what we're going to do is supposed to rain here in a little bit, start raining again, and it's going to get higher, and the motor's already, you know, I'd say getting water in it in certain spots, but it's going to get higher. I got my battery out and cleaned it out, which it can't go nowhere. I don't think it'll go anywhere. The vehicle won't go far. It might go down around this bend if it gets to be a good flood. But there's nowhere to put come-alongs on it. There's nowhere to hook it to or nothing like that. But I about made it back across, you know, after I'd done that. And the thing about it is, here's what happened. Now the Jeep, it's four-wheel drive that we pushed it out. When we got on the other side, he was sitting there idling. He said his temperature went way up. What did he say it went to?
260.
260, and real quick, and so it started overheating. Well, we took and he cut it off, let it sit there a minute, pulled it up to my house to see what was wrong with it real quick. We was going to hook a chain to this and pull it out, and it started rattling real loud. I mean, it rattled so loud it jarred the vehicle, vibrated. So I got him to cut it off. Well, I waited till it cooled, went out there and poured half a gallon of antifreeze in it. It went out on the ground. And I think it was the safe antifreeze, but she had to go put the dog up real quick because, you know, until we got that cleaned up, just in case if it hurt animals. So, and then I got to looking, he brought a freeze plug. Well, the freeze plug is the safety of the vehicle to keep your engine from your engine block from busting when it freezes. Well, he hadn't had it going since the freezing went through. So, you know, that made it really hard right there.
Sure did. And he felt real bad because he couldn't get this vehicle out. I mean, he is my brother, and he did everything that he could have done, and he was even willing to blow his up to get mine out. But
yeah, he was going to do it anyway.
I couldn't let him do that.
And it started rattling like crazy. I'm not going to tear somebody else's vehicle up over my benefit. And ours would be out here on the bank, still flooded the motor out, and still unrunnable, and then his would be locked up tight.
Yeah, then nobody's got nothing down here.
No, but he tried to. He offered to. But no, I told him, that vehicle can't be moved.
No.
Until we get that freeze plug put in there and get some water in it, because, you know, it would tear it all to pieces. But he was really going to do it.
Yeah, he's a good person.
Yeah, but no, I don't do that. So after the water gets up like it is now, it's way higher than what it was when she went in. Believe it or not, because you can't hardly tell it because that hole over here on the left-hand side, you can't see it. But now, a record can't even get in here.
No.
Once she done that, it was no time. The water started raising even more from the rain upstream. And we wasn't getting any rain, but sometimes it just starts flooding. And I've seen it flood, pretty good size floods come through here, and we haven't had any rain. We'd have sunshine all day. So you never know when it's going to flood. That's them flash floods, really. But anyway, that's the whole story of what went on. We had a rough day.
We did.
Then got the wheelbarrow come down here, put the battery in it, had to get out there in the water and get my battery and stuff like that out of it so it don't ruin it too. And then, you know, turn around and put it on the wheelbarrow, start to pull it, and it's flat.
Yeah, well, it's got some kind of
that was a rough day. Couldn't push it, so I had to turn around. I had chains in it, and had to turn around and pull it up the road, the wheelbarrow, you know, by hand. But, of course, but anyway, it was a rough day. It really was. But that's the story of what really went on here. I got it turned around.
Yeah, you turned it around.
But I come back through and that happened, and everything was still fine. And then his Jeep done that, so that's the only way to get it pulled out. There's nowhere to hook come-alongs to it. The water was raising, went into the floorboard. The floorboard, on the side of the floorboard where the kick panel is your computer. It went all up over the computer into the seat. And then, you know, just drowned everything out. The headlights came on, wouldn't go off. But the whole lesson is you don't know what's under that water. It wasn't a dumb move or nothing going through the water. It's because it's a daily thing for us here. That's our life, and that's the way we live. And the other river, we got another creek like this, and the other river is like a 10-car length wide river that we have to cross.
Yeah, it's wider than this one.
But that's our life. It wasn't a dumb move. It was just a hole that we couldn't see. Like tricycles and boards with nails, you can't see stuff like that. But we are going to try to just save up, and it may take us a couple months or something, and get a $2,000 or $3,000 ride, and well, $2,000, something like that, maybe $3,000, but whatever we can come up with, and get a decent ride and put a lift kit on it in case if we run into holes like this, because we still have to cross it.
Yeah, we live here.
We live here. This is our life. And if you see a rain coming like yesterday, we really had to get out and check the mail and try to get a few things to hold us until the rain, you know, the flood goes over, because we usually get a little flood, so we stock up. We didn't make it this time, but
it didn't happen.
We tried. But yeah, you can't hardly make a buggy or anything to pull by hand to go down there and take groceries across this place.
No.
It's too rocky. It won't roll. A wheelbarrow won't roll. A buggy, it just turn everything over. You have to pack them on your back or pack it in here.
Everything scotches you up. All the rocks, they scotch you up, don't you?
chicken
You know,
feed or anything. You have to
yeah.
pack it, especially if he ain't got his going. Then, or your brother, her brother lives right up above us.
Yeah, we're all down on it. There's nothing
And,
gonna get in
but no
here.
vehicle right now until we get that stuff fixed. But anyway, that's the whole story to all this. And that's the reason I lost my vehicle. There's a big hole right here on the side, and it is very deep. And, probably come up to your neck or something. But anyway, we didn't know it was there. She didn't know it was there. And I wouldn't have let her drive down through here if I thought she was in danger.
No.
Or anything, because it was a normal day. But we'll see you all on the next updates.
And everybody stay safe, and remember, you never know what's in that water, so it's best just not to take a chance if you don't absolutely have to.
No, you never know what's under there. But we'll see you next time.